This type of ignorance here is why we continue to vote against our own best interest. Now, she's really, really good at sarcasm. What she's saying here is Prop 13 is the reason they lost their family home. And that is so far from the truth. I'm going to open up the entire comment, go through it line by line, so you guys can get a better understanding of how we're being done here in the state of California. I had to sell my family's home because once the property was reevaluated or its current step-up value, pause right here. Step-up value is not a thing. Step-up in basis is a thing, but doesn't apply here because step-up in basis is solely and only for how capital gains are handled with a gift versus inheriting the property. I'm not even going to go into that here, but step up in basis has nothing to do with property tax reassessments in any way, form, or fashion. We were hit by Santa Clara County tax assessors with a huge property tax bill for the 45 days I owned the house before I sold it. Property taxes are not being reassessed as fast as 45 days, so I'm wondering if they had to go through probate. And if they did have to go through probate, that means that house was not inherited, which means that step up in basis could hit them really, really hard when they sell that home due to capital gains. Prop 19 is why she had to sell, not Prop 13, and I'll go into more detail on that later. So here's Prop 13 in a nutshell. It caps California's ad valorem property taxes at 1% of the acquisition value. What does that even mean? Ad valorem means value-based. So Prop 13 is only associated with the value of the property. So let's say you buy a house for $600K. Prop 13 says the ad valorem or the value cap is 1%, making your property taxes $6,000 annually. So for example, Windsor Hills, I think the total tax rate is around 1.75%. Lancaster, Beaumont, Palmdale can hit as high as 2% tax rate. So this is Prop 13 capping the value at 1%, and then the city adds additional taxes, bumping the total tax rate up to 2%. Standard tax rate in California usually is around 1.25%. But when buying a home in, say, Palmdale, if the purchase price is $600,000 and the tax rate is 2%, your taxes will be $12,000 annually. Daryl, I thought you said Prop 13 caps taxes at 1%. Yes, ad valorem, meaning value-based only. School tax, utility tax, special assessments, these have nothing to do with value. So when you see on your ballot, we want to help the homeless, we want to help these children, that means we want to increase your property taxes. And that increases on all real property, guys. Farm, commercial, residential, renters. This applies to you too. If your landlord's property taxes skyrocket, they're going to come to you to make up the difference. And if they can't make up enough of the difference, they might be forced to sell. Where does that leave you? Word to the wise, vote no on any tax increases in anything. How about politicians? You just use our tax dollars properly, allocate the money properly. Let's get rid of the corruption, and you won't have to keep coming up with sneaky ways to increase our taxes because the money's going to where it's supposed to go in the first place. All right, let me focus because that wasn't the purpose of this video. Now, the second part of Prop 13, once we acquire the home, says annually they can't hit us for more than 2%. Our property taxes cannot be reassessed for more than 2% of the value. Now, I showed her this in the video. This is my house. $313,900 is what I purchased my house for. Each year, I haven't been reassessed for more than 2%. My home is valued at over $600,000 today. If Prop 13 was not here today, my property taxes would be well over $12,000. And as you can see, they're only $66.85. I said only $66.85. Look, some people would kill to have my property taxes and some people would fall out if they have my right. So it's all relative. Now, hopefully I explained it well enough to where you understand Prop 13 has nothing to do with full property tax reassessments. This is where Prop 19 comes in. Sign the Prop 19 petition in my bio, by the way, guys. Prop 19 repealed Prop 58. Prop 58 said if you inherited property from a parent, grandparent, they didn't have to live in a home. It could have been their primary or investment property. And you didn't have to move into the house to inherit their taxes that Prop 13 was helping to keep low the entire time they own the home, making it easier for you to inherit and then come in and pick up the payments. Here's what Prop 19 did that constituents voted for in 2020. Why? Because it was only pitched to the public as portable taxes for seniors, for the disabled, and for disaster victims. This means they could sell their house, but buy another primary residence and keep their same property taxes, which is excellent, right? But what Prop 19 snuck in was this. When your parent, grandparent passes now, they needed to have lived in the house. Investment properties no longer qualify. Within a year, you have to move into the house, file a homeowner's exemption, and file the Prop 19 exclusion form. If all four of these things don't happen, full property tax reassessment, and that's why she had to sell her family house, not because of Prop 13. That's why my clients are being forced to sell. It's why farmers are freaking out. It's contributing to rent going up. Sign the fixed Prop 19 petition in my bio so we can eliminate this stupid death tax. If you can put a mortgage on it, chances are I can do it. Wait, and then she said it was more than me and my husband's, meaning the property taxes, was more than her and her husband's combined salaries a month. Combined, so maybe you, meaning me, Daryl Taylor, should do more research, buddy. As you can see, I've done my research. Okay, for real this time. If you can put a mortgage on it, chances are I can do it.